SEO lovers, it's Kate Toon here, the head chef of the Recipe for SEO Success, an online learning hub for all things SEO. And today I want to talk about my SEO predictions for 2018. What's going to happen in the world of Google? What should you as business owners, bloggers, entrepreneurs, WordPress developers, copywriters and marketers, what should you be concentrating on? And what will I be focusing my efforts on for my 6 or is it 7 websites in 2018? So if you're wondering what your plan should be for next year, this episode or this Facebook Live, because I am actually going to cross-purpose this video as a podcast, a YouTube video, a blog, and I'm also doing it now live on Facebook. So this episode is for you. Okay, let's get stuck in. What are my predictions for 2018? What's going to happen in the world of SEO and Google? Well, number one, I think that voice search is going to really take off. It's already taken off. We all know that we can talk to Siri. Hey Siri, we can talk to Google, and now with voice assistants in our home, more and more people are going to be using voice search to find the businesses and the services that they want. Now, if you can hear a strange noise in the background, it's a very sunny, hot day here in Sydney, and the cicadas are going crazy. So that's what that noise is in the background. It's not me vibrating. So yeah, voice search is going to be prevalent in 2018. And what does that mean for you? Well, on average, people are kind of estimating that the amount of voice searches are going to go up exponentially. That means that rather than people kind of typing in odd staccato words into the Google search box, like where is pizza place, Sydney, how much cost? They're going to be asking real questions, the what's, the when's, the how's, the where's, and the why's. So what is the best pizza parlor in Sydney? So on your side, if that's what people are typing into Google, on your side, you need to be writing content that really answers that question. So you need to directly respond to the question and use the same language in your content. So, maybe use that question as the title for a blog post, as in the URL, in the body copy of your content, so that Google can make a direct match between the search query kind of question and your piece of content. And also, I think it's about talking more conversationally in your copy. So, so many people, when they're writing copy, they feel that they have to be over formal or over professional. Instead, try to talk like a human, because that's going to make Google's job of matching up human search queries with your content a little bit easier. Okay, number 2 prediction is the loss of real estate in the search engine results pages, often known as SERPs. Now this year we've already seen so many changes to the SERPs. We lost the ads down the side, which meant that the width, the pixel width of our search results, our titles and our meta descriptions got a little bit wider, which gave us more content. On December 1st, Google also announced that it's going to, my noisy phone, also announced that it's going to give us more text. So occasionally it will pull more text into your meta description, give you a longer snippet, and it will do that by using your meta description and some of the content on your page. But we've also seen an increase in the ads at the top of the page. I remember when there just used to be 1 or 2, now you can see 4, sometimes even 5. We have the local pack at the top of the page, which takes up a lot of room. We've got the map and then the 3 results underneath. And all of this is pushing the organic search results further down. We also have seen the rise, and this is my next point, of featured answers, knowledge graph information. So I'm going to talk about that in a minute. So what does this mean? Well, it means if you're a local business, you really need to be working on your Google My Business page and trying to work on your local SEO to ensure that you are in that local pack. And that really, you need to be in the top 1, 2, 3 organic positions, because otherwise you might not even be on the first page, even if you're in position 5 or 6, because of all those other bits of content, you're going to be pushed right off. And it also means you're going to need to focus on my number 3 prediction. And that is the increase in knowledge-based content. So what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is that Google is really taking a things, not strings approach. It's trying to look at sites and break them down into entities. So it's trying to find out, say, your business address or your business name or the rating that you have for a particular product. It wants to try and pull that information out of your site and then give that back to the user in a more easily digestible format. You'll all have seen things like featured snippets. So, if you ask a particular question, you might see a little box at the top of the page where that question is answered in brief, and there's a link, and then that takes you through to the site, and there's also an image there as well. So we're going to see an increase in featured snippets. We're also going to see an increase in instant answers. So if the answer to something is very straightforward, what is 1 kilogram in ounces, it comes up right at the top. You don't even need to go to the website to see more. There's talk of featured videos coming along. So again, all these things enable you to get into position 0. If you have a great piece of content that really answers and solves the customer problem, you could be the featured snippet, and you could outrank some pretty big sites just by doing a better job of your content. Again, kind of ties in with that conversational search, choosing keywords that are more relevant to questions, and really writing great content in the language of your customers that solves problems for them. So far we've had the rise of voice search and conversational search, the loss of real estate on the search engine results pages, and the rise of knowledge-based content. Now, how can you take advantage of this knowledge-based content? Well, you need to clue up on featured snippets, and I'm going to be launching a little micro course next year on all about how to write really great SEO copy that generates featured snippets, so look out for that. But you also need to look into structured data and schema. You need to implement some structured data on your site. Now, if you have an e-commerce site and you're using something like WooCommerce, WooCommerce does a pretty good job of adding in structured data. You'll see that you get things like ratings and reviews, availability. If you have a business site, you might want to investigate adding some local business schema. If you have an event site, event schema, there's all different types of schema, and that's something that you need to investigate in 2018 just to make your site a little bit more appealing to Google and a bit more digestible for Google. My prediction number 4 is, drumroll, mobile first. Now, Google have been talking about mobile first for a while. At the moment, desktop is kind of the first index, and we have actually a completely different index on our mobile. And you'll notice this if you search for your site on a desktop and a mobile, often you get different results. More and more people are searching via mobile. I read a statistic the other day that said something like 70% of local searches are done on a mobile device. So if someone wants a Thai massage parlor and they're in London, they're more than likely to search from that from their mobile. So what does that mean to you? Well, it means you really have to make sure your site is responsive. And by responsive, I don't just mean, oh, hey, I bought a responsive theme, it's responsive, I'm done. Or, hey, I popped it into this tool and I got a fairly good result for responsive. I mean taking out your phone and trying to do the thing on your phone. Can you get from A to B on your phone? Can you buy the product? Can you click the buttons, or is your thumb too fat? Get other people to play with your site on their mobile, and don't, focus on that usability. How easy is the site to use? How clear are your navigation terms? How clear are your call to actions? Again, I'm going to be launching a little micro course on website usability next year as well, so you'll be able to learn a little bit more about that from me too. So, mobile first is really important. It's been important for ages, and by now I would hope that all of you at the very least have a responsive site. But I think you can push further and really work on your usability. Don't just take the theme at face value. Try and investigate a little bit further. The next thing that I think is going to be on the rise is AMP. And we are going to be talking about that on the podcast, the Recipe for SEO Success podcast. If you haven't already listened, we have a great episode about AMP, and we'll have more coming up soon. AMP serves super fast content on mobile devices. So what it does is create a stripped back version of your blog posts and serves them almost instantaneously. So it's not really a replacement for having a fast site, but it is a way of serving up content in a really clean, quick way. And you may have seen, if you're searching for news articles on a mobile device, you get the little AMP carousel at the top of the results, and it links through to those pages really, really quickly. And obviously we know that speed is a huge factor in terms of ranking, but also customers enjoying our site. So AMP is going to be important. We're going to investigate that more. Again, there'll be more content coming from me in the I Love SEO Facebook group about AMP and how you can implement it on your site. Number 6, I think we're up to number 6. Number 6 is video. Now, I've been obsessed with video for a couple of years, and we all know that YouTube is hugely powerful, the second biggest search engine. We all know that videos are being pulled through into the blended results. So they give you a chance of ranking for your page content and your video content. But also, videos are super powerful for building authority, awareness, and trust. So if you're watching this now, watching this on Facebook now, say hello. If you're watching it on YouTube, comment below. But what we're doing here is you're seeing me. I'm talking to you directly. You're getting an idea of who I am, my approach. It's much more powerful and much more engaging than reading an article by me. Even though I'm a copywriter and that's my kind of superpower, video is more powerful. And I find that lots of people who go on to, buy my courses or, engage with me in some way have watched videos. Also, obviously, if you're listening to this on the podcast, podcasts are super powerful too. Not so much for SEO, but for building that authority and getting people to, like you. If they like your voice, they like your style, they like what you're talking about, they're far more likely to then go on and buy your product rather than someone else's. There are oodles of SEO people in the world, oodles of courses. Why mine have been so successful and why they sell out usually within a day, I think it's because I put a lot of effort into building a relationship with my customers, and I do that via video, podcast, Facebook Live, and my communities on Facebook. So videos, super powerful. Create that video. It doesn't have to be super professional level. This is just the Facebook Live that I'm doing. If you're watching it on YouTube, I got a little cheap ring light. I'm recording it on my webcam. I haven't got my hair done. It's just a regular day for me, but it's fine. It's the content that matters. So record that video, upload it to YouTube, embed it into your web page, maybe get a transcript done of that content as well. Lots of people like to read. That's also lots of good SEO content that Google can chew through. And then you've got a blog post as well. So it's really great. One tip here though, if you are recording videos and you want to add them to Facebook, I always recommend uploading them natively into Facebook and LinkedIn as well. Both LinkedIn and Facebook don't want you to go off to YouTube because you might not come back. So they want you to keep the experience within the social media platform. So always upload your videos natively into those platforms. Okay, number 7, I think we're up to. A little thought for you e-commerce people out there. Now we know it's getting tougher and tougher with Amazon entering the Australian market and also, of course, Google Shopping. It's getting harder and harder to get your products seen. So how can you beat this? Well, one thing I think is that you need to work on your Google My Business pages, really up those and add as much content as you can. Work on your product and category pages. Try to add some content. There is no specific amount of content you need to add, just as enough that sells you and differentiates you. Often the products that stores are selling, they are reselling. So I could buy that product for 5 other sites, and maybe you can't compete on price. So you have to try and build your brand, and you have to try and build a relationship with your customers. So content marketing is super powerful. I often find because e-com stores have a lot of products to upload and maintain, they kind of fall back a bit on the blogging side of things and the guest blogging, but you can't. You really need to get your name out there so that when I think that I want to buy some padded baby trousers, somebody posted that in the group yesterday, I immediately think of the brand behind that. And I don't just go off and search for the thing, I search for the brand. And that's what you want to try and do to try and compete against these big guys. So those are my predictions. Let's just run through them again. We had number 1, the rise of voice search. Number 2, the loss of real estate in the search engine results pages. Number 3, the rise of knowledge-based content. Number 4, mobile first index and making sure your site is crazy responsive. Number 5, AMP, and kind of getting your head around that and how you can make it useful for your business site. Number 6, video, optimized videos on YouTube, but also videos for engagement, awareness, and trust. Number 7, e-commerce, trying to compete with those big guys by building your brand and building a relationship with your customers. But I just want to stop here and say one important thing. The fundamentals won't change. They haven't changed for the last 5 years. Google still wants you to have a technically sound site, a site that's fast, responsive, and crawlable. That's super important. That's the foundation of all SEO. It wants you to provide solutions to customers, and that requires you to research keywords, to find out what your customers are actually searching for, and to write content that answers those problems. Engaging, sticky content that entertains and educates. Those 3 things haven't changed. Technical, keyword, optimized content. You're always going to need to continue to earn links. Maybe not so much building them, which kind of implies that you're kind of aggressively going out there trying to make people link to you, but earning links through great content, through building relationships, to being open and sharing, and all that good karma SEO stuff that I teach on the Good Karma SEO course. Some great tactics in there for building links, earning links in a non-pushy, aggressive way. So if you're struggling to build backlinks, check out that Good Karma SEO course. And then as well as that, content marketing. It's not going anywhere. It's still important. But I do think you need to focus on the channels that work for you. We all love Instagram. It's easy, it's pretty, but really take a good look before you start 2018 and see how much referral traffic you actually get from Instagram and how much of that referral traffic turns into customers. Focus your efforts where they're going to have the biggest impact. And some of that might be working on boring stuff like optimizing title tags or checking the crawlability of your site. It's not as sexy as posting pictures on Instagram, but it could have a much bigger result. So there you go. These are my predictions for 2018 for SEO and the things that I am personally going to be focusing on for my sites. I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, leave a comment below. If you're watching this on YouTube, leave a comment there. And if you're listening on the podcast, head to the Recipe for SEO Success website and leave a comment on the post for this podcast. And if you are on iTunes or Stitcher, leave a rating or review about the show. It will help other people find me, find what the things that I do, and hopefully fall in love with SEO and Google. And that would be a lovely New Year's present for all of us. So good luck in 2018. My name's Kate Toon. I'm the head chef at the Recipe for SEO Success. And those were my little predictions for next year. Thanks for watching. Bye.